moved deeper and deeper into his palace to protect themselves, and he slowly lost control of the realm. He slept in a different room every night, and anyone who inadvertently laid eyes on him was instantly beheaded. Due to his absence, his ministers enacted political policies without his approval or even his knowledge, and also plotted against him. Louis XIV knew that if he was absent, conspiracies would spring up like mushrooms after rain. Animosities will crystallize into factions, and rebellion will break out before he has the time to react. Qin Shi Huangdi traveled incognito, disguising himself carefully. On one such trip through the provinces, he suddenly died. He died alone, far from his wife, his family, his friends, and his courtiers, accompanied only by a minister and a handful of eunuchs. Some speculate he was poisoned by the same scheming ministers who encouraged his isolation. Louis XIV, on the other hand, built the Palace of Versailles, where he took center stage. Some 50 years of relative peace and tranquility followed. Through it all, not a pin dropped without Louis XIV hearing it. Place yourself at the center of activity. Do not feel threatened. Do not retreat and close ranks. To find security in a kind of fortress, fight the desire to turn inward. Do not merely rely on information from a small circle. Do not lose maneuverability and become an easy target. As in warfare and most games of strategy, isolation often precedes defeat and death. Make yourself more accessible. Seek out old allies and make new ones. Force yourself into more and more different circles. If you need time to think, then choose isolation only as the last resort.
Some positive characteristics that we might possess. Imperfection abounds everywhere. It's part of our intrinsic nature. And telling ourselves that we would be happier if we could just fix them is not a path you want to go down. So, for example, if you feel you're overweight, it's...
Our lawyers...
Let's talk in a minute about how this works. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to have the assistance of counsel for defense. So if the police interrogate or arrest you, ask you to alert what charges you with, to search your right. Probable cause means police must have clear facts or evidence that believe you're involved in criminal activity. In other words, an officer's hunch without evidence of illegal activity is not enough to search or arrest you. But it doesn't take much. Most avoidable police...
Or maybe you've been on the receiving end of someone's silent treatment.
Based on my experience, that you enjoy shelter, that you have relatively good health and many other things. It is a natural disposition of ours to turn a blind eye to the things that we already have and focus solely on the things we wish we could have. You get the life partner of your dreams, for example, but once you're in a relationship, accept yourself, the whole world accepts you. One of the core teachings of Taoism is to let go of the need to fight against our own nature, against our own flaws, and accept ourselves for who we are. According to Taoism, when we learn to accept...
According to the professor,
She witnessed her father with all-abided wealth get overthrown and banished by her elder sisters. Therein she emerged as the leader of the rebellion and had her older sisters imprisoned and her own husband murdered as a secure This explained violence on one of her own neighbors public newspaper, and 4 years later,
early civilizations equated ostracization.
yet the throne for herself. In 41 BC, she would use the same tactics on Mark Antony. She was able to reduce both of these very powerful and dangerous men to her cast box, doing exactly what she wanted them to. And let's have this line. However, there is an additional lesson for her.
People as less than human also tends to dehumanize the perpetrator.
For example, would be liquid objects of desire and making out one small and long, Giuseppini was inexperienced in the art of love. He confided in the infamous courtesan of 17th century France, Yvonne de Rincon, to instruct him on how to seduce a difficult girl.
The silent treatment as a form of manipulation. It's a way for the perpetrator to maintain control over the conversation or argument. The silent treatment is equivalent to gaslighting in the sense that it makes the person receiving the treatment question what they did wrong. Hence, it's a form of emotional abuse. Number 3. It denotes rejection. Do you hesitate to reach out for their hand? Does it feel like there's a good chance of being turned away or even made to feel ashamed of the effort? During an argument, it's easy to justify your cold shoulder. It might seem like a good de-escalation tactic, but in reality, it's exacerbating the problem. The silent treatment serves to deny partners basic communicative needs, and therefore the person on the receiving end may feel rejected, especially if there is a physical aspect to the ostracization. Withholding of physical content from a spouse or partner can make the partner doubt the stability of your relationship. Number 4. It instills self-esteem issues. Have you begun to constantly criticize yourself? Are you apologizing for every little thing? A cold shoulder is a very active way of demeaning someone and telling them that they're worthless, regardless of the intention. It invalidates their opinions, thoughts, and emotions. This, in turn, can produce anxiety and reduce self-esteem. A study from the University of Sydney shows that repeated ostracization can lead to the development of depression, eating disorders, and even suicide. Number 5. It produces physical pain. Do you often feel physical discomfort? Scientists have shown that when you experience the silent treatment, the anterior cingulate cortex, a region that distinguishes levels of pain, becomes activated. As a result of someone's cold shoulder, you may experience digestive issues, headaches, or aches in your back or
Ja,
joints.
det är bäst jag kan få som
And number 6. It destroys